And welcome to Waking Up with Channel 7. Joining us today is AJ Smith of our very own Ohio State's basketball team. Last month, the loss against Oral Roberts Golden Eagles ended OSU's season. Following the game, many took to social media to voice their disappointment. Some took it much too far, singling out Mr. Smith with death threats after he missed the game-deciding shot. Welcome, AJ. Can you describe for us the media firestorm that you found yourself in?
Yeah, people have been just threatening me and coming after me in ways that I've never seen happen in real life. And while I wasn't receiving constructive criticism, they were definitely threats. Usually the message I receive are positive, but them being so negative is what stuck out to me.
Not everyone understands the severity and impact of cyberbullying. What do you say to the people that reference sticks and stones and tell you to just ignore it?
Well, because of the pandemic, social media is our life right now. Just because bullying is done online doesn't mean it's any less serious than bullying done in person. Sometimes it's even been scarier. That's
so true that social media is our social life these days, AJ. Well put. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to your harassers?
Just this needs to stop. People need to think of each other as humans, even in the digital world, and that us athletes, we're people too. So people think they can get away with this stuff because they can hide behind the screen, but the implications are very real.
Thank you so much for speaking with us today, AJ. We really appreciate your time. Joining us now is Dr. Fred Turner, Professor of Communications at Stanford. Dr. Turner teaches on media and American culture and is here today by a video call to share some interesting statistics on social media. Dr. Turner?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for making time, Dr. Turner. Our first guest this morning shared his experience receiving death threats primarily on Twitter. Can you tell us how common this occurrence is these days?
Well, it may or may not surprise you that the vast majority of threats and online harassment actually occurs on Twitter, specifically somewhere in the ballpark of 88%. And the problem here is the concept of real identity. On other platforms, users are more easily identifiable. People use their real names or show their real faces. On Twitter, users can hide behind not only just their screens, like AJ mentioned, but also their handles, which boosts their perceived anonymity. That also lessens a harasser's sense of accountability.
That begs the question, what methods exist to hold online bullies accountable?
The first and easiest step is to report abusive posts directly to the platform. But in cases like AJ's, there can be legal action taken. Death threats would potentially be covered by Ohio's anti-harassment laws. However, here in California, Section 422 of the Penal Code states that any person who willfully threatens to commit a crime which will result in death, like the threats AJ received, shall be punished by imprisonment. And that includes threats that are made even if there is no intent of actually carrying it out. Like Mr. Smith said, there are real implications for online harassment, both for the targets and the people doing the bullying.
Channel 7 would like to extend a special thank you to both Mr. AJ Smith and Dr. Fred Turner for appearing with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you both for the work that you do. It was a pleasure speaking with you today. Join us again at the 8 o'clock hour for updates on traffic. But for now, over to Jim for today's weather forecast. Jim?